So we talked about Kai Sotto as a prospect here. He's been playing this last season with Adelaide 36ers in the NBL, a league that's getting incredibly good at a rapid pace. He's still only 19 years old. You've had a chance to take a look at some of his video, and we're going to be breaking it down even further in another couple weeks or so before the draft. But first impressions, what do you see out of him?
Man, I hate when people use this word, but I'm really intrigued. I'm intrigued by him because I think in this NBA, if he has the right I think the biggest thing for him is who is your Batman, right? If he gets a pass first Batman, he can be very, very good in the NBA.
You mean like this Batman right
here?
Oh,
that's crazy. I didn't even notice.
I didn't either.
Like, he needs to play with somebody who is more about assists than points. I don't want to say Luka because Luka's a ball holder. You know, everybody, by the way, I plugged Luka before a lot of people plug Luka, so I feel like I can criticize him openly. But Luka is ball dominant. He need if he gets
Kai Sotto, todo hype ng mga US vloggers. Mas karapat dapat piliin di umano ng mga NBA teams kaysa kay Chet Holmgren. Magandang araw mga idol at kapinas. Kumusta? Hindi na lamang tayong mga Pinoy ang sa ngayon ay nagpapaingay sa pangalan ng ating pambato sa NBA na si Kai Sotto, kundi maging ang ibang lahi. Sa isang interview ni Andy Hoverman at Tony Badney ng Expat Hoops sa isang international player at college coach na veterano sa EuroLeague at dating Nigerian Olympian na si Olaseni Shinlual, dapat di umano palakasin at mas pagtuunan ng pansin ni Kai Sotto ang kanyang opensa kung nais nitong ma-draft sa NBA. Na tama naman dahil nakikita natin iyon sa kanyang mga training sa TSF.
Kai Sotto can be really good if he's able to play to his offensive strengths. If he gets more touches than not, I think he can really be good in the NBA.
Sakaling ma-draft di umano sa NBA, mas pakikinabangan siya di umano ng NBA team bilang isang offensive player o stretch big man. Dahil isa siyang natural na elite scorer at mabilis ang galaw para sa isang 7-footer na animoy 6'8 o 6'9 lamang kung kumilos.
Like, there's so many things about him that's like, draft him. He's a lefty. Whenever you got to draft lefty.
Oh, we knew this was coming. Who else is a lefty? Come on, full disclosure.
No, seriously, because when you're playing the NBA, and you have somebody that's a scorer, you're going from guarding a bunch of players, and then you have a guy that can score that faces up the other way. I'm telling you, like it throws you off. Like his face-up game is elite for a 19-year-old kid. He faces up like he's 6'9", 6'10". He reminds me of Deshaun Sims, played at Michigan, and I know this from just personally getting work. He's going to catch you in the short corner. He's going to open up into it. He actually plays a little bit like I like to play, but he likes to play off the other block. I like to play off the left block so I can drive middle to come back into a baseline shot off the glass or drive middle into a left-hand hook. He actually likes to play on the right block, which is different. He likes to play on the right block so he can jab baseline and either into his shot or attack middle to come back into his left, which most lefties don't do. You know, most lefties, we like to go, we want to play on the other block so we can go middle to our left. So it's weird. So, what that tells me randomly is that he probably prefers to drive middle right into a jump shot with his left hand. Like,
kung sa tatag naman di umano sa kanyang depensa, susunod na lamang iyon dahil isa siyang elite big man.
but he's mobile enough as a 7'2" kid that you can do a lot of different things with him defensively and offensively. So meaning, just to explain what I mean is, at 7'2", you can hard hedge with him. So if you can hard hedge with him, you can stop a lot of good offenses and just kind of get him to hard hedge and then sprint back. You know, he can run the floor, so he can play the 5, he can rim run, get down the court earlier, so that allows you to play fast offensively. You don't have to wait for him, but he can also trail because he can shoot the 3. So he's got versatility in that. He can pick and pop, he can pick and roll because he can roll fast, right? He's a very mobile kid, so he can roll fast. He can set a screen and get out of there quickly, but he can also pick and pop and knock down open 3s. He can pick and short pop, so he can pick and knock down short jump shots. He's not a bad passer. He's got a good understanding of bounce passes and, you know, throwing it over the defense and things like that. I think the system they played in, they had a lot of back doors. So he does a good job of passing in back doors, which I like about him, which falls into any, you know, a lot of NBA teams run a lot of pistol actions. And in the pistol action, that big will get the ball in more of a high post wing area and can kind of make some plays from there.
Ayon pa sa kanya, isa umanong malupit na armas ni Kai Sotto ang kanyang pagiging ambidextrous o ang kakayahan nitong paggamit ng kaliwat kanang kamay sa pagdribble at pag-shoot. At ang kakaiba sa kanya ay ang hilig mag-drive o mag-penetrate sa loob pa kanan imbis sa kaliwa, nakakaiba di umano para sa isang kaliwete. Gayon din ang kanyang tres at mid-range shooting at pagiging mobile big man nga na may mahusay na footwork at fake shot. Bilang scorer na big man, maihahalin tulad siya di umano kina Rudy Gobert at Kristaps Porzingis at Brook Lopez ng Milwaukee Bucks.
He's a really good mid-range shooter. So he literally at 7'2" can just catch it, face up to you, and just shoot over you, right? So he can literally spend the first 4 or 5 minutes of a game just knocking down shots to get his rhythm. And then once you try to take that shot away, which is stupid anyways because he's 7'2", he's got a good shot fake, good jab game, and then he gets downhill and he's got good footwork, real good footwork. He can, you know, most lefties, we like to drive right. So he likes to drive right, which is a very good thing about him. And then offensively, he can knock down 3s. I think he shot 33% in the NBL, which doesn't look impressive, but 33% as a 19-year-old is a good percentage because you have to assume he's taking bad shots. You have to assume that he's getting some contested shots and things like that. And he's also probably inconsistent. So he'll probably have some bad games and some good games as a 19-year-old. He's a teenager. And he's playing against grown men. He's playing against grown men. And that league is getting better because people are realizing that the NBL, you know, it's a good NBA supplement league because of the rules of the league. You know, they'll let you play more out there. So he's intriguing from that standpoint. I think that you have to, you see him on a spectrum from like a Rudy Gobert to like on a snowy day, Rudy, to a rainy day, he's Kristaps Porzingis, offensively and defensively. Like he's a mobile kid. He's a mobile kid, but he's not comfortable on the island.
Bagamat magaling di umano si Kai Sotto na scorer na maaari pang mas mahusay sa opensa kay Holmgren, ang kahinaan naman daw ni Kai ay ang stamina, kung saan ay doon naman malakas si Chet dahil sa subok ito sa NCAA sa takbuhan at hustle plays bilang isang elite athlete at legit na rim protector. Ayon pa sa kanya, kung di na available para sa isang NBA team si Chet sa first round at kung nais ng isang NBA team na ito ng isang stretch big man, mas mapapakinabangan di umano nila si Kai Sotto, kaya karapat dapat ma-draft later ng first round o sa mga unang bahagi ng second round. Bukod di umano sa mas malakas siya kay Chet, ay sanay na itong makipagbanggaan sa mga mama ng NBL. Kumpara kay Holmgren na sanay sa college basketball, miski NCAA pa yan, ika nga sa Ingles, Kai Sotto has already played along with grown men at ang NBL di umano ay halos tulad na sa NBA.
Offensively, he has the potential to be better than Chet, but Chet can go through his legs. Like Chet got baby Durant in him a little bit, right? Chet got great ball skills, and we've seen what Chet has done. Even though he's doing against other college kids, it's still the NCAA. So we've seen what Chet can do offensively. So I think he can rival Chet Holmgren, and I feel like if you're trying to get Chet Holmgren in the draft and you know you're not going to get him, I'll take Kai Sotto. So, like, if I know I can't get Chet Holmgren in the first round, I don't mind taking Kai Sotto maybe late in the first or like early in the second. And if that's my system, right? If my system is, I need a stretch five. He's a stretch five. He can't play the five. There's different. He can't play a traditional five. He's not Joel Embiid. He needs another 100 pounds. He can't play. He can't body anybody at the block. He can't post anybody up. He's not somebody you want to consistently pick and roll. He's not durable enough for that. But if you're going to bring him out there, stretch some defenses, try to create some mismatches where you're bringing that big man out because he can catch and shoot, things like that, it can be very helpful. You know, another person I see a little bit in him is Brook Lopez, a skinny Brook Lopez. Later in his career, not early, later in his career, where he's just a guy that's consistently shooting threes. He can be that a little bit.
Si Lawal, isang 6'10 na sentro at naging undrafted sa NBA noong 2009, ay veterano na sa Middle East gaya ng sa Qatar at Europe, kabilang na ang sa Italia, Kazakhstan at Espanya, sakop po ng FC Barcelona. Sa ngayon, isa na itong retiradong basketballista at head coach ng isang girl college basketball team. Si Andy Hoverman ay isang abogado at part-time podcast host ng Expat Hoops kasama si Tony Badney. Tunay nga na lumalawak na ang naabot na kasikatan ni Kai sa Amerika at mukhang siya pa ang mas pinag-uusapan ngayon sa mga NBA prospect na papadraft ngayong 2022 kumpara sa iba, sa kabila na ito'y wala sa ranking ng mga mainstream media gaya ng top 100 ng ESPN mock draft. Kayo mga idol at kapinas, anong masasabi mo sa ating natalakay ngayon? Sa tingin nyo, matutupad na nga ba ang ating inaasam na unang purong Pinoy sa NBA? Komento mo lamang po yan sa ibaba. Pag-usapan po natin. Salamat sa pagbisita sa ating munting channel at maging sa ating podcast listeners, shout out po sa inyo mga suki. At sa ating mga bagong YouTube subscribers, salamat din po sa inyo. Yay! Hanggang sa muli, this has been your host Alex saying bye-bye for now at God bless.
Knicks family, what's poppin' is your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been getting emails, calls, texts, DMs about Kai Sotto. So we're gonna break down his game. And by the end of this video, determine, is he hype or is he the real deal? How would he fit with the New York Knicks? And will they draft this young man? Let's go. Now that we have an overview of Kai Sotto, I wanna take a look into his skill set. I'm not just gonna break down his strengths and his weaknesses, but we're gonna look at attributes that I believe will transition or translate to the NBA. And if you watch my videos, you know that footwork is very, very important to me. So this is the first thing we're gonna look at, footwork. We're gonna take a look at a video, just one single clip that I believe displays his potential to be a big man that has very good footwork, because in this clip, he displays an assortment of footwork techniques. Let's take a look. You'll see him jab step to the left and then stab to the left so he can spin back to the right, fake it, back to the left, pump fake, and then steps through for a strong layup. Ladies and gentlemen, that was an impressive array of footwork techniques. The question is, will it translate to the NBA? That was on a high school level. I'll say this, footwork normally translates. It's about the speed and the strength. Does he have enough speed and strength right now for his footwork and array of moves to translate to the NBA? I'm not exactly sure. It's a great question. You tell me, leave it in the comments section. But he's 20 years old. He'll have time to build his speed, to build more strength, so that those moves can translate to the NBA. Now, you might have noticed in that clip that he had the ball in his left hand as if it was his dominant hand. But after he goes through his array of moves and then steps through, he finishes with his right hand. Now, his trainer, Jeremiah Boswell, on the Lakers Nation podcast explains the advantages that Sotto might have being able to score with both hands around the rim. Take a listen.
Kai is actually right-handed, that he writes with his right hand. He just happens to play basketball left-handed. And of course, LeBron James is the same way, just the inverse. He's left-handed, but plays basketball with his right hand. Is that an advantage for Kai, that he tends to do things with his right? Like, does that make his offhand stronger compared to a typical player, or is there maybe no impact?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge when you think about bigs, right? So much of what they do historically, and even just in pick and roll play, right? They're playing around the rim. They're in the lane, right? Even those little short roll floaters. And to have the option to go with either hand is critical. It's huge, right? Like, you're not getting your shot blocked, by trying to shoot with your inside hand. And so I think that's really big for him. I think he's actually even going to have go-to moves on the block with his right hand, because he's just so comfortable either way. And like we said, he's good off his left foot as well. And so when you go off your left foot, it's natural to go right hand. So I think that's a big part of his upside. I think, like I said, I think one of his go-to moves will end up being a righty little kind of a quick floater, not really a hook, kind of an in-between shot. So I think it's a huge advantage.